I've got breaking news to share with you as a partnership shakes up the crypto world. XRP Etf odds are high, along with other XRP news and odds you need to see. We'll talk price action. Crypto is on the downturn. Why? Well, we're going to learn about it along with...
I say lots of naughty things, so here's your warning.
Happy Monday, everyone, and we've got some softness up on the screen. Why do we have softness? Well, we're going to get into it along with something, though, that's super hot. Breaking news as well. You want some XRP juicy odds? Ooh, I've got them for you. POLYMARKET action. But before we get into that, your comments come first because you, the viewer, matter most. JJ Johnson Live says, I have my oil stock bags packed and ready. Klaus, yeah, I've been buying oil. I've been buying it actually for quite a few months. Why? I buy things when they're on sale and then I sell them when people want them. That's just how life goes. Uno Bug Me One says, still have fond memories of my grandparents taking me and my brother to KB Toys for our birthday. I'll be 60 in a few months. Yeah, name some of those stores out there that are gone that you used to like as a kid. My mom used to take us to places, right? In November. Like toy stores, you know, KB Toys, Toys R Us, stuff like that. And then magically, whatever we showed our mom that we were like interested in November, Santa would get us for Christmas. I remember Venture, all those kind of fun stores. Let me know down below what stores you miss. Circuit City, you know what I'm talking about. Ah, the good old days. Wade One Day says, where and how do you buy your oil, dude? Well, it depends. I love paper stuff. Here's why. You like oil exploration? What about shipping stuff? What about actual oil mining companies? Yeah, there's a whole bunch of things to get into. Bitcoin sitting at 101,858, up from the lows. Why did we go to the low? Why was XRP sub $2 again? Well, we're going to talk about it. E2267, 8 at 54.6. A lot of things out there are going back down. Look at HBAR. Yeah, it's up 5%, but it's only at 13.7. Mega sale. Well, this is why Bitcoin briefly dips below 100,000 after Iran fires some missiles. That's right, everyone. Iran retaliated on Monday for U.S. strikes on Sunday, targeting 3 of its nuclear sites. Iran launched at least 10 missiles towards U.S. bases. Look, I'm not here to talk about the politics of it, the war of it. I'm here to talk about the impact on crypto. Now, you can see in the last several hours, this is what happened. We were hanging out right there. 102,000 with BTC, and then we dropped right there. You can see it, man. We just briefly dipped below 100,000. Now we've since rebounded on BTC. But yo, the market is reacting quickly to news. That's why you hit the notification bell. So you're caught up with this action, right? And I told you, this is the primer for the market right now. Everything in the crypto market right now is all about what's happening in the Middle East. So BTC had a big drop of running. Now, XRP, you're seeing the same thing play out with that. Let's go to the one day. You can see the exact same thing. XRP dropped right down below. $1.90 something too. Okay, let's keep learning. Okay, we're going to get back to that. But first, Crcl partners with Fiserv on stablecoin integration share surge. Dude, runaway freight train. The people who originally wrote the IPO for this wrote it for $24. Homegirl has not stopped yet, like 10xing on this action. Crcl Internet Group shares surged more than 21% after announced a strategic collaboration with Fiserv aimed at integrating stablecoin tech into mainstream financial services. The company said the collaboration will enable thousands of financial institutions and millions of merchant locations within the Fiserv ecosystem and access stablecoin-based solutions. Now, let me ask you a question. When we have partnerships in crypto, you don't ever see the price pump, do you? But yo, when you see it in the traditional finance markets, you see it pump, don't you? Yeah, you do. Look at this action. Yeah, Crcl stock, hot AF, man. I'm telling you, traditional finance players want to get into crypto, but they want to get into it through the proxy of the stock market. So earlier I did a video about a potential hot IPO coming. Yeah, OKX exchange, the third biggest exchange globally. Think that's going to be as hot as Crcl? Probably not, because I don't think people trust OKX as much as they do Crcl, but could still be juicy out there. Okay, so we already touched on what happened with BTC, crypto market based in Iran. We're going to have to definitely pay attention to that, okay? Because again, as things flare up, it's going to push prices down. But, on the good side, remember, if things start cooling out, if we get a little ceasefire agreement, what are we going to have? We're going to have prices go up. Now, good news for XRP holders. Bloomberg increases the odds of an XRP spot ETF approval. Now here's the problem though. The approval is likely going to be fourth quarter of this year. So yeah, you got some time, everyone. James Seyfarth and Eric Balchunas, two analysts at Bloomberg, say that the higher 95% clearance probability is because the SEC is more closely working with ETF issuers. Well, yeah, that and the fact that they only can delay it so many times. I mean, like, let's be real here. Are we seeing anything different with the ETFs from the SEC, whether it's Gensler or the new guy now? No. Come on, they delayed the H-bar ETF. Nothing new. This is a very positive sign that shows the SEC is changing its mind about XRP and other altcoins like Solana and Litecoin. Okay. The kind of designation makes it easier for ETFs to get approved because the SEC doesn't directly oversee commodities. I agree with that. Here's the problem, though. They still delay this stuff. They still delay, but they're giving it a 95% chance of getting it approved this year. I liked it. Now let's talk about other XRP juiciness. Oh, yeah. XRP in the National Reserve of 2025, only a 13% chance of that happening. ETF approved in 2025. Well, on POLYMARKET, they got it at 89% chance. So you might have a little bit of action there. XRP up or down on June 25th, 50-50 chance. So you got some action. By the way, this is all linked down below if you guys like all this kind of stuff. Now, let's talk about some active addresses on XRPL. This is an interesting one, okay? Because remember, when was the biggest hoopla? When was the biggest excitement for the crypto market? It was November, December, January, right? That's when everyone was like, yo, we got a new president coming in. They're going to be pro-crypto. There were all these promises. Well, listen to this stat. Okay, you got to remember, stats are all relative, right? They're all relative. So let's pretend Crypto with Klaus just goes bonkers and I decide to eat like cake all day long and Burger King and milkshakes and I decide to balloon up to 600 pounds. And then I decide to go ultra running again. I can't because I'm still not healthy yet, okay? And then I lose all that weight. And all of a sudden I'm like, yo, I've lost like 300 pounds. You're like, yo, bro, that's like really good. But it's all relative, right? Because if I put on a bunch of weight, I'm still, you get what I'm saying, right? So the stats are all relative, okay? So you have to kind of look at things in a zoomed out way going, okay, well, wait a minute. If XRP unique addresses are down 80% since December, is that really a bad thing? Well, no, not really, because they were freakishly high in December because that's when all the excitement was. So same thing, if I lose 300 pounds, is that really a freakish stat? Or is it because I gained 600 pounds? Like, you get what I'm saying? It's all relative. The number of unique addresses on XRP Ledger, I gotta come up with better analogies, people. Come on now. The number of unique addresses on XRP Ledger has plummeted by 80% since December, according to data from CryptoQuant. Specifically, the number of addresses contracting on chain has dropped from 103,000 on December 3rd to fewer than 21,000 on Sunday. Well, yeah, because that's when everything was freaking out. That's when everything was juicy. Because if you look at the volume charts, hold on, and I'll do it for you. When was volume the biggest for XRP? In November, December, and January. And now things are calming the F down. So obviously, if you compare stats from the peak time and you compare stats to now when it's not peak, of course it's going to be less, you dumbasses. So just be careful out there because some people out there are trying to skew stats to make things look bad. Am I worried about unique addresses and active addresses down? No, I'm not. I just have to share this with you because I think sometimes people try to paint this stuff out to make it look bad. All right, volume for the crypto market down 15% right now to 123 billion. That's still strong volume. The problem we got, though, is BTC dominance, 14 out of 100. I touched on it in this morning's video. I'm not going to touch on it again. You should touch it, though. Not yourself. Well, no, you can. Yeah, you can do that. But you should touch the subscribe button if you haven't. By the way, 66% of you watching are subscribed. That means 33.3% of you, it's like really like 2/3 and a third, are not. That's naughty. So like 1 out of 3 of you watching and listening are naughty non-subscribers. Just throwing it out there. Specifically XRP. Look, let's go to those candlesticks. Let's talk about that dip that we just had here. And we're going to talk about the price roaring on back. Look at this, because it is roaring on back. Look, check out the candlestick. It's happening right now. Told you. All right, so look, we got that news with a little bit of escalation right there. We got a low 196.15, and now she's coming on the way back. High at 205, so you are definitely seeing some volatility here on that action. The reality is it's all going to center around Middle East stuff for a while. As long as the Middle East stays hot in the not good way, Jerome Powell's not going to cut rates, right? It's going to cause short-term inflation. You're going to see gas prices go up. That's why in the beginning, why are people commenting about, I have my oil stock bags packed? Because I've been telling people for months and months and months, I've been buying oil. Why? Sooner or later, it's going to spike. Wade one day says, where do you buy oil, dude? I buy all paper stuff. Why? Because I ain't buying that physical shit. But the whole thing is, you know it's going to be hot sooner or later. So XRP, the rest of the crypto market, definitely reacting to the Middle East. So if you want a barometer, follow Bitcoin for price, right? Bitcoin going down, Bitcoin going up, following the candlesticks, yes. Follow the big news in the Middle East. If Middle East tensions rise, crypto's going to fall. If Middle East tensions chill out and people start acting with cooler, calmer heads, well then guess what? You're going to have better prices, everyone. So it's definitely the season for that Kmart blue light special, as the Middle East is providing us the reason for those discounts. Now, I'll be honest with you, my phone is going off constantly because I've got alerts set for a bunch of different cryptos out there. I'm not happy for the reason on why those cryptos are going on sale, but look, you got to take advantage of the situation that's happening. Now, that being said, Crcl, look, that's the cue. Traditional finance is telling us right now that they want crypto, but they want it with protections. They're not ready for native token yet. They want it through the traditional finance markets. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That means then, hey, when other offerings are available, might be a good idea to get into it if you're into that sort of thing. So, other IPOs, I'll be sure to let you know when they come out, so hit that notification bell so you don't miss out, because what? Choo-choo what? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. This is my bad ear. Let me put it closer to... What? I'm sorry, what? What? Choo-choo biz nachos. Oh, and for the ladies, choo-choo biz nachos. And for the blue-haired giraffes, choo-choo blue-haired giraffes.